What if I told you that ancient humans had the same superpower as dolphins? They never fully went to sleep. One half of their brain was always awake, always watching for predators, while the other half lived in a permanent dream state. And this might explain why they seem to have supernatural abilities. The dolphin connection. Dolphins do something incredible called hemispheric sleep. While you're dead to the world for 8 hours every night, dolphins keep one brain hemisphere awake at all times. One side sleeps, the other stays vigilant. Now, here's the mind-blowing part. What if ancient humans worked exactly the same way? This could be the missing piece that proves the bicameral mind theory. The never-sleeping humans. Picture this. You're an ancient human living 4,000 years ago. During the day, while your left brain handles basic survival, watching for saber-toothed tigers, tracking prey, your right brain is in a constant dream state, generating voices, visions, and divine guidance. During the night, your left hemisphere sleeps and your right hemisphere watches for trouble. You're never vulnerable. You're never unconscious. You're always half awake, half dreaming. This explains everything we couldn't understand about ancient humans. How did they survive without modern weapons? They literally never let their guard down. How did they navigate vast distances without maps? One hemisphere was always processing environmental cues while the other rested. The evolutionary advantage. This wasn't just different, it was better for survival. Modern humans are helpless for 8 hours every night. We're unconscious, defenseless, completely cut off from our environment. That's insane from a survival perspective. But bicameral humans? They had the ultimate survival hack. Constant environmental awareness. Creative problem solving. Divine guidance from their hyperactive right hemisphere. 0 vulnerability periods. They were like having a guardian angel and a security system built into their own brain. The hyperactive right brain. Here's where it gets really wild. In modern humans, the left brain dominates and suppresses the right brain. But in bicameral humans, that right hemisphere was running at full power. While the left brain handled immediate survival, the right brain was processing symbolic information, generating voices and visions, creating art and stories, providing intuitive guidance. It was like having a constant psychedelic experience, but it was normal consciousness. Think about it. Every ancient text describes gods speaking to humans constantly. What if that wasn't mythology? What if that was just Tuesday for them, the modern malfunction? So what happened? Why did we lose this superpower? When humans developed unified consciousness around 1200 BCE, both hemispheres started working together. We gained the ability for complex analytical thinking, but we lost something incredible. We became vulnerable during sleep. We lost direct access to symbolic, intuitive processing. We had to compress all that right brain activity into a few hours of REM sleep. We became the first humans who were truly alone in our heads. Our modern sleep might actually be a broken, compressed version of what the right hemisphere used to do continuously. The alien reality. If you met a bicameral human, they would seem like an alien with superpowers. Never tired, never vulnerable, constantly receiving divine guidance, always aware of their surroundings, living in a permanent state of visionary consciousness. No concept of the sleep-wake cycle that controls your entire life. They'd look at us and think we're broken, unconscious for a third of our lives, anxious and cut off from divine communication, vulnerable and paranoid. The modern implications. This explains so much about modern problems, why we have sleep disorders. Our brains are trying to return to the old pattern. Why meditation and psychedelics feel so profound. We're temporarily accessing our ancestral consciousness. Why we feel spiritually disconnected. We literally are. We lost half our spiritual processing power. Why ancient humans seemed so in tune with nature. They never stopped processing environmental information. The archaeological evidence supports this. Ancient humans traveled continuously without apparent rest periods, 24-hour ritual activities in ancient cultures. No evidence of the sleep sanctuaries modern humans would need. Constant references to never-ending divine communication. Modern consciousness isn't evolution, it might be devolution. We traded supernatural awareness and divine guidance for the ability to overthink everything. We became the first humans who actually needed to sleep, and we've been exhausted ever since. The next time you're lying awake at 3 a.m. with insomnia, remember, your brain might just be trying to get back to how it's supposed to work. What if ancient humans weren't primitive? What if they were superhumans and we're the broken version? Think I'm crazy? Wait until you hear about what happened when the gods went silent. Subscribe and let me know in the comments. Would you want the bicameral mind back?